This is a Wake Up podcast presented by Wake Up Pueblo. Hello and welcome to our next Wake Up podcast. I'm Ben Cason here with Chris Meeks. Chris, how are you doing today?
Hey, Ben, I'm doing good.
Good, man. I'm glad to have you in. Excited to talk to you about your business, everything going on. Tell me a little bit about yourself and who you're with.
Yeah, so again, my name is Chris Meeks. I am the founder and president of Up Homes. Yeah.
Hope Homes. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so have you ever seen the signs, we buy ugly houses?
Yeah, I have.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we are in the same space. We're the same people that do it. And you're going to probably see that since then, there's been a billion people that maybe have kind of gotten to that space.
Sure.
It was funny, just last week, I saw a post or an ad on Facebook, and it was like, hey man, listen, if you have a house that is as ugly as my sister, I will buy it. And I thought that was weird, right? It's like, who posts something like that?
Yikes.
So
I like it.
We're similar to that, right? So we buy houses, we buy commercial property, we buy land. If you have a piece of land and you're paying taxes on it and you're never going to do anything with it, or you're just like, man, I'm just ready to get rid of it.
Yeah.
We'll buy it. And so, I think that's our main part in the space is we're the real estate gurus. We're here if you need some help.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys buy terrible houses or houses that aren't in good shape,
right?
And then you're fixing them up and then you're selling them back again, correct?
Yeah, that's right. And we buy houses that maybe aren't in horrible shape too.
Sure.
If you're in a situation where your loved one has passed on and it's in probate and you're like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to even clean out the house. We'll buy it. If you have tenants or renters in there that won't leave and you're just kind of done with being a landlord, we'll buy it. So there's a lot of different aspects to our business. We're willing to talk to you. There's even times that we've given advice to homeowners where we didn't profit at all. So we had a homeowner come and we looked at the house and we said, hey, listen, you should put this on the market.
Yeah.
And these are some of the things you can do because you have some things that need to get fixed. But I really think if you put it on the market and you take these steps, that you're going to be able to sell for a lot more money than an investor would be able to give you. And it turned out that's what happened. They made more money than any investor would have been able to give them. And,
wow.
And so we try to do the right thing.
Sure.
When it comes to real estate. Yeah.
That's awesome. So obviously I was talking to you before we started here. You've got another kind of wrinkle to your business that I think you can see the passion in. You were talking to me about how a percentage of all of your sales goes to good causes. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So Hope Homes, we built the business on the foundation of giving back to others. And so we take a portion of our profits, a chunk of our profits on every single transaction, and we give it to people in need. We give it to nonprofits.
Yeah.
And so, just to name a couple, we had the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And so we had a 3-year-old with cancer, 3 years old with cancer. And he wanted to go to Disney World. And so it was like, cool, let's do it. And so we were like, we will grant his wish.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
that's amazing.
It's really cool. And, to add to that, we're surrounded with a community of good people too. I put it on my social media and I had a group, a handful of people say, we would like to donate as well. And so it's not just us, it's trying to be part of something bigger, to give back to people in need.
Sure. So Chris, obviously you're very passionate about it. Like what got you into that part of your business? Yeah.
I think it was just growing up. So, I grew up, I was with a mom who struggled with some different issues. And so then I got sent to foster care and I was in foster care for a while. And then I got sent back to my mom and my mom is an amazing woman, but she struggled with things and to include, creating a lot of opportunities. We were very poor. Yeah. And so where all my needs were met and I was a happy kid, there was a lot of wants that I wasn't able to do. I wasn't able to go to summer camp. I wasn't able to go to a play or take someone out on a date or, whatever as a kid.
Yeah, you got a lot going on otherwise.
Yeah. And so once I was able to get to a point in my life where I could be better, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna get my degree, and I got my engineering degree.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. First one in my family to do it.
Wow.
And
Congrats.
so I just kept pushing and now I'm in a position where I can get back and I really understand and can feel, kind of what I went through as a kid. And I just want to try to make at least one person's life just a little bit better.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. So has that been a part of the mission since you started the business?
Absolutely. From day one. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just geeking out.
Yeah, thanks.
So tell me, what markets are you guys in? So you were telling me you haven't done a ton in Pueblo yet, but like where are you guys at?
Yeah. So, I focus in Denver and Colorado Springs. But Pueblo is, close to home for me. I actually got my engineering degree from CSU out here. So I love Pueblo. I love the people here and the culture. And so I recently moved up to Denver. And so getting down to Pueblo is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
However, we've built a great team up. And so we're able to expand now to Pueblo and talk to homeowners and people in need that are looking to get an offer for their property.
That's awesome. So did you commute in from Denver today for this podcast?
I did.
Wow, I feel special.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I know, man.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So getting into real estate and flipping houses, what got you into that? Like, it's definitely something that I think you probably have to have a passion for to do a lot, like you're doing. How'd you get into it?
Yeah. So, to be honest with you, I got into flipping by watching HGTV. So I watch these shows, right? I see these guys, like I could, they make this beautiful thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I could probably do that. And, and it's a lot harder than doing that. But I think it gave me my passion, to do that. And so I started reading books and I did YouTube channels and I got mentored by great people that are in the business. And then finally, after I felt educated enough, then I kind of took the plunge and started Hope Homes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So can you take me through like what was there like a nervous part of it, like those first couple whenever you were getting into it, or were you just like
absolutely
came right in, you were like, I've got it?
No. So we use something called hard money lenders. And I mean, it just an off topic thing is that I also mentor people for free. I mean, I'm not offering mentoring classes or anything, but if someone was to have a question or someone wanted to talk about it, I'm more than happy to talk about it. There's no secrets with me. I'm just that kind of person, but I forgot what we were talking about. What was
I was asking you if were you nervous at all in those first couple flips that you were doing?
Yeah. So I read that so I didn't have the money, right? I didn't, and so I found a house that had amazing margins. So the house was, they wanted $175,000 for it. He was foreclosing in like a week. They were just going to lose his house, him and his family. And then the house was worth, at the top of the market, it was worth like $300,000. So
wow.
It was some really good.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's not typical in Colorado. And so I was like, okay, cool. I found the deal. Now what do I got to do? And so I learned that I needed to find the money. And so I found something called a hard money lender, and just a bunch of people with money that will loan money for a little bit and then give it back. Or then you give it back to them and sell it. And
sure.
But it was sketchy. Like, I honestly thought I was doing business with the mafia, and I was like, I have to do a really good job, or they're gonna break my leg. They're gonna break my legs, right? And I was like, I love these legs, and so I decided to do a great job. But it wasn't them. But I talked to them and I convinced them to give me a shot, and so they loaned me the money for the house. They loaned me the money for the rehab. Brought in a crew. Which is a whole nother lesson, because finding great people that are contractors that do good work and are honest is hard sometimes.
Sure.
But we got it done and we sold it. And from there, the ball just kept rolling, but definitely scary the first time, with the mafia there, and then
with the mafia
and then, just not knowing exactly what I was doing, just things I read, and not having a mentor really that was going to hold my hand. It was scary, but it worked. It all worked out.
That's awesome. So you mentioned that if anybody needs mentoring, that they would come to you for that. What got you into that? Like what do you think is the value of mentoring?
I think having a good support system is vital in everything you do. I have a great support system, and I don't think I would be here without it. and I think that the reason for a great support system is that when you feel low, and it's going to happen, right? To anyone, to the most positive person in the world, there's going to be times where they're going to be like, man, or they're going to second guess their decisions.
Sure.
To be able to talk to someone that's going to be a cheerleader for you and say, you got this and we can do this and let's sit down and let's be logical and let's figure everything out. To have someone to bounce ideas off of is huge. And it kept me from using any self-doubt that I may had. And it helped me just say, all right, I got people that believe in me and I'm going to do it. So, yeah.
So what would you say is the weirdest house that you've encountered and bought and maybe flipped to this point?
Okay. So
are there some contenders there?
There's a ton. Most of them are in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
But so there was one house that had a room full of dolls. And it was super sketchy.
Like baby dolls?
Yeah, like these, they're like, 18 inches. And they have like these weird eyes. Some of them were closed, one's open. And and they were just everywhere. There was probably 100 dolls. And it was it totally freaked me out. But I think the worst house I've been to was a hoarder house. And so the people in there were into drugs and into not cleaning anything.
Sure.
And
it just piled up.
Yeah, everywhere. It was like you had to burrow tunnels. And they actually didn't use the bathroom. They used their room. They used like a corner of the room. So that was exciting to clean.
That sounds so exciting.
Oh yeah. It was
I'll just let you do that.
Dream come true. But we also pride ourselves into renovating these houses where like our own mother could move in or a family member. We may it may cost just a little bit more to do it the right way, but
sure.
But I think it's important to do it the right way. You don't want a family moving in there and corners were cut, and that happens a lot in the flipping business. Is corners are cut. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really, really awesome. So take me through like the process. If someone, say I'm in Denver and I've got my house and I want to get with you so you can buy it from me.
Sure.
Can you take me through that process? What that would look like?
Yeah, you bet. So you just give me a call and just give me the address, and I just I need a few hours to check it out, run comps, see kind of what it's about, and then I will I'll if it's okay and if it works with your time limit, I can either offer you a price there without looking at the house. But it's better for me to come look at the house because you could probably get more money for it.
Sure.
I'll look at the house. If it's something that I think you can make more money without me and you could maybe put it on the market or maybe do something different, then I'll let you know. I'll say, hey, but if there's areas of concern, then I'll show you all the areas of concern and then I'll give you a number and I'll say, hey, listen, this is my number. Where do you want to go from here? Yeah. I think the cool thing is, so there's a couple different things with investors. One is the number I give you is the number that you're gonna take home with you. There's no realtor fees. We're gonna pay the closing cost. Yeah. I've even helped people move out. I've bought people an apartment for help them get a deposit. Yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah. There's different ways. I'm gonna help you transition. So if you really need some help, I'm there for you. I don't want to just take your house, kick you on the street, and call it a day. Yeah. So there's a lot of different ways we can do that. There's also something called sub 2, where it's subject to, and basically there's a lot of flexible ways to do things with your property. So if you're behind on your mortgage, but you want to stay there for a couple more months, we could do something where I'll pay your mortgage every month while you're there. And then once you get to a place where you're ready to move out, then we'll go ahead and renovate it and we'll sell it. And then we'll go ahead and get you paid for that as well. So a lot of different scenarios and we're very flexible on reaching those.
That's awesome. How long have you guys been open?
So we've been in business for about 2 years. Prior to that, I was an engineer. I did land development, civil engineering, land surveying, AutoCAD drafting. And so
what's AutoCAD drafting? Sorry, I don't know. I just don't know.
No,
That's cool.
So AutoCAD is computer-aided drafting. Any of the construction plans that you see at the city, for buildings, architectural, they're designed on a computer program called CAD. Okay. And so so I was a designer for a while and created those plans. But sitting in a chair all day for 8-9 hours and just eating junk food. I'm just getting fat and you don't talk to anybody. And Engineering's great. I love it, but I love people more, and I like working with my hands, and I like helping. And so I just felt like there was something missing when I was an engineer, and so I'm hoping that going out on my own is going to work out for me in the long run.
Seems like it's working out so far.
Yeah, I've been blessed for sure. But there's always that what if. There's always the month you don't get paid, and you're like, oh man, So we're still small. We're not big by any means. So we're still working day by day. But I'm definitely hoping for the best.
Awesome. So how many people do you have working for you right now?
Yeah, so I have just me.
Just okay, cool. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, but I subcontract a great team of people.
Sure.
Out. I know a bunch of great realtors and a bunch of contractors. So
yeah,
but yeah, it's just me right now.
That's awesome. So you're talking about mostly Denver and Springs, but if somebody in Pueblo wanted to figure out a way they could get their house to you, how would they contact you?
Absolutely. So you could call me, and I can give you my phone number. I have a website that I haven't put together yet, and so hopefully I'll be able to get that done at some point. But my phone number is 719-210-4997, and my email address is chris@hopehomesco.com. So HOPEHOMESCO.com.
Nice.
And then the website, whenever it'll come up, is hopehomesco.com. And so I'm gonna put my number on that website as well, just so people can contact me.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. So you were talking to me before as well. You don't only have this business; you have another business going on. Can you tell me a little bit about that one?
I do. So I have two other businesses.
Other businesses. Yes. All right.
So we're trying to rebrand. I'm trying to rebrand in a way. So I have one company called Landmoose.com.
Okay.
And what Landmoose is we buy land. And we buy land, we sell land all over the U.S. And the good thing about Landmoose is, so I'm in a position where I'll buy the land, and then all I ask from the buyer is to, when I'm selling it, all I'll ask is for them to put down a down payment, and then they can make payments to me over 5 years. Without me pulling credit, without me doing a background check or financials or any of that stuff, right? It's just
no questions asked.
No questions asked. It's like, do you want to own a beautiful piece of land that you can build your dream home on, or go camping or whatever? I'm going to provide that for you. I want you to be able to be some kind of a landowner, or have a piece of the pie. So so that's what Landmoose is all about. We definitely are always looking for land to buy. So if you have vacant land. And then the other company, and it's still under Hope Homes, but we're gonna go ahead and do an extension. But we do engineering and CAD design, like we were talking about earlier. We do those services. So we work with developers, and we work with other engineers and agents and flippers and other people that maybe want to do new development. And we help them get their permits, their acquisition, their entitlements through the city or county.
Yeah.
So when I say like we're the real estate guru, I mean we.
Sounds like you got a lot of your umbrella. Yeah, I'm with you.
A lot of experience, and so I'm here to help.
That's so cool. Yeah. That's really awesome, man. And I heard also, I was talking to Jess down there before, here from Up Pueblo, that you also do comedy.
Well,
did comedy? Yeah,
I did. Yeah, it wasn't funny, so I stopped. But
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I love doing stand-up comedy. It's amazing. I had an amazing time. Met a lot of great people, and have opened for some great names. But it was hard. So the hours are at night, and just the schedule was really tough from trying to do a business. On the own, because comedy really doesn't pay well until you've made it. Sure. Kind of, or if you're really just grinding and you're out on the road all the time and stuff. And so as much as I love people and laughing in comedy, it wasn't sustainable to me in my situation.
Can you give me a taste of like one of your best jokes?
It has been years.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I have, I don't even know if I remember any of them, but I have.
I don't believe that. I bet you do.
I don't know. I had a set where I just talked about my dating life. So I've had a crazy dating life.
Yeah.
It has been insane. And I tried out online dating. Have you ever done online dating?
I haven't, but I've got a lot of friends who have.
Yeah. It's crazy online, and this isn't a joke. I'm just talking to you because I don't really remember the jokes, but so I met a girl, and everybody knows that I like beautiful smiles, and so I met this girl at a restaurant, and she had beautiful white teeth, but she only had 3 of them, and so she
only had 3 of them.
Yeah, it was weird. So and we were at like a steak restaurant, and so I was like, I don't know, do I chew her food up for her? Or, I don't know. I want to be romantic, but. It was weird.
Do I chew her food up for her?
Yeah.
What was the distribution of like top to bottom jaw? Three teeth?
Yeah, there's 2 on the bottom, 1 on top.
2 on the bottom, 1 on the top.
Yeah, she was adorable. So we ended up didn't work out. Yeah. So I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool. So obviously you got a lot going on. I mean, you've done a lot of stuff. Where are you from? Are you originally from Pueblo? I know you said you went to college here, but
I did. No, so I was born in Florida, in Jacksonville.
Really?
I lived there for 11 years.
Okay.
And then I came up to Colorado. My mom decided it would be good to come up to Colorado. So
cool.
So we went. Lived in Colorado Springs for a long time. And then I've been in Denver for about 3 or 4 years.
Okay, cool. Do you like Denver so far?
I do. So Denver has a lot of opportunity, but Denver's a very big city. And there's a lot of traffic. There's pros and cons. I mean, just like anything, but
yeah,
I do like Denver. I think it's
good.
I think it's a great city. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah,
awesome. So, what was your experience with Pueblo? Like, I know you said that you came here for college, but like, what was your impression of it?
I love Pueblo. I think when I think of Pueblo, I think of kind of a close knit family. I feel like probably everyone knows each other here. Maybe it's getting a little better, or because it's it's growing substantially. But I used to have a boat. And I took it out to Pueblo Reservoir a lot. So that was a lot of fun.
And it's beautiful out there.
Yeah. My boat sank. So
my boat sank? No way.
I swear.
Out at Pueblo Reservoir?
Yeah. So it was exciting. I got it back to the dock, but it started sinking. And so here's an exciting thing to know. If your boat sinks, gun it. Gun the boat. I don't know if it's the hydraulics or the pressure or what, but any water that's in there, it'll get sucked out. And that was my saving grace. But how'd
you get the hole from?
Well, so okay, here we go. So I went to New Mexico to buy a boat, and I was bringing it back, and I literally, honest to God, I literally drove it from Albuquerque, New Mexico to Colorado Springs. I was a block away from my house. I hit a dip, and I hit a dip, and I kind of like stopped a little bit, and I started rolling forward, and I see a boat next to me, and I'm like, why is there a boat next to me that looks just like my boat? And my boat was so the trailer in the boat became unhitched, and it didn't have chains or anything on it. So when I hit the dip, the momentum of the boat hit the dip, and it just went to the left of me. And
it didn't hit you or anything?
It didn't hit me.
Wow.
But I watched it roll into the truck that was on the other side of the street wanting to make a left turn. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I kept going. and so I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? And I can't, it's going to come back to me. Like, I can't do this. And
I watched it roll into
oh my
the
God, it was
truck.
so crazy. So I turned around and I went back and I apologized to the guy. And he was like, I have seen a lot of things in my life, but I have never seen a boat coming down Lexington, Woodman in Lexington where I was at. And it was so crazy.
So you made it all the way, and it was just like a couple turns away from your house.
Yeah. But I just bought a boat, so I had to take it out. I didn't see any.
Oh, sure.
I didn't see any holes or anything, so I lugged it up that weekend, and then it almost sank.
And that was from it hitting the truck, probably?
I think so, yeah. I think it got some cracks or something in the hull. So
yeah.
It was exciting.
So what was going through your head whenever you saw water pooling in your boat?
It was scary. But it was my first boat.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe it's supposed to fill up halfway.
Sure.
I don't know. It's, it's like a little pool.
Equilibrium thing.
That's right. Yeah. So it was scary. I had my son with me, and he was taking buckets of water. And so, yeah, it was fun. We've never been back in a boat since then. So.
No, you haven't really?
No.
So what'd you do with the boat that was broken?
I sold it.
Okay.
Yeah, I sold it for more than I got it for.
Even though it had a wow,
hole, yeah,
dude,
so,
that's must be the start of the flipping houses thing. That's incredible,
right?
What a salesman!
Great luck, I know. Well, no, I was totally honest. I was like, this boat sank on me, and he was like, okay, and I was like, but the motor's brand new, and so he popped the motor. It looked amazing. He's like, I'll take it. So yeah,
there you go.
So it worked out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You sold it for more than you got it for.
I know. It's crazy.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
What's like if you don't mind me asking, like what's like when it comes to selling a house that you've done already and maybe flipping it, what's like the biggest margin that you've had so far?
So far I've had a margin of 79 grand. That was just net profit.
Yep.
However, we're flipping a house now. I'm actually JVing with someone who wants to learn flipping. They're going to put up quite a bit of money on it.
Cool.
And it looks like the profit margin should be about 150.
Wow. All right. That's awesome.
So we'll split it though 2 ways.
Sure.
But it'll be, you know, the process takes about, I don't know, 60 to 90 days.
Sure.
Total. So, I mean,
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yeah. To make 75 grand in 2 months, it's like, okay.
It's pretty nice.
Sign me up.
Sign me up. Yeah.
But, you know, but then that money, a good chunk of that, you know, 10 grand or whatever is going to go to people in need.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
I think over the 2 years, I mean, I could definitely probably buy a car brand new in the money that I just didn't see, that I'm just like, here you go, you know? So
that's awesome.
It just comes back to you.
Yeah. I'll ask it. I think I already know the answer. Do you regret that? Like not being able to like get your car and instead of like helping people?
Not at all.
I thought so.
Yeah. And you know, and I'm just a big believer in being just a good person.
Sure.
And I truly believe if you're a knucklehead and you treat people like, you know, pretty badly, then it's going to come back to you at some point. But if you treat people good, then at some point it's going to come back to you. And that's just how I live my life. And I try to be the best person I can be.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got anything else for me here?
Let's see. I don't know. I feel like I should ask you questions.
Hey, ask me some questions. Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to be honest with you. I am new to your guys' company.
Okay. Yep.
Can you give me a 30-second elevator speech?
Sure.
What you guys are about?
Yeah. So Wake Up Pueblo is whenever a company here in Pueblo comes to us, and we will take over their social media. We'll take over videos. We'll make podcasts for them. And so what we'll do is we'll pump out content for the company, basically. You should come check it out. If you're listening to this and you're here, you can see everything around here. It's a cool vibe being able to see all these really talented people around here doing what we do. And whenever we put that together, whenever a company comes to us and we put it together, we'll post those things for them over the next few months.
Okay.
So it's a different kind of advertising. It's like a 2020 advertising because, coming up to 2020, if you pay for a billboard, for example, right? If you're like, I want to advertise my business, I'm going to spend money on this billboard. It's going to be awesome. Your billboard only does you good until you stop paying for it. So once that's gone, they take the billboard off. It doesn't matter anymore. But the kind of stuff that we're doing is like, the way I say it is like it's evergreen because we're like trying to build a following and build social media profiles, tell more about your business. And, if all of a sudden, like say 15 months from now, you're like, we don't need to pay you guys anymore to do this, that stuff's still there. And somebody who wants to find, say, Hope Homes, for example, they can go check out Hope Homes and they can see all of that content that we've built for you. And so it also allows businesses to focus more on, their business. They don't have to, a lot of people like, social media is not that fun to do. It's work. It's like its own weird kind of work. Yeah. So we're just kind of lifting that off so people can focus more on their own stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool stuff. So just so you know, and just for anyone who's listening, and they didn't put me up to this, but I'll give you my experience when I walked in here.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah. So I've never been. Okay. So first off, if you're on my social media, if you go to my Facebook, Chris Meeks, and you write me and say, hey, what's up? I heard you on this podcast, then I'll accept you. But anyone who knows me knows I'm an honest guy, and if I get behind any kind of business, I've kind of done my due diligence, and I strongly put my name behind them. And so I can't say I put my name behind you guys yet, but I will tell you guys my experience. When I walked in here, I was greeted immediately by very friendly staff and smiling faces. And then we had a young lady named Jess who's was super nice. And she just showed me around this. You guys have an awesome building.
Yes, we do. It blew me away. I got the job like I'm 3 or 4 weeks in. I didn't know it was as big of a, as big of a place as it was. Yeah, like that theater. I had no idea that was in there.
They got a theater inside this building. And they got so the elevator there's ropes, right? And
I haven't done it yet.
And
but
you move the ropes.
Yeah, you turn yourself up. They said it takes like 5 minutes to go up a floor. Yeah,
that is insane. So I'm gonna take pictures and maybe we'll do a video of us doing the elevator. But anyway, I don't know much about this company yet, but I will say from first impressions, I think that these guys are great so far. And if you want to know my thoughts as things progress, stay tuned.
I appreciate it. That's awesome.
You bet.
I'm glad you're having a good impression. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, as for me, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but still, nonetheless, I didn't know much about it for a long time. Do you know like the undercover billionaire part of it? Have you heard that?
I don't.
So the business started in pretty odd circumstances because Grant Cardone, do you know who he is? He's a real estate
guy.
Yeah, real estate mogul from LA and Miami.
Right. Yeah.
He decided to go on the show called Undercover Billionaire. They gave him $100 bill and they had him change his identity and they dropped him in Pueblo with a camera crew. And he had to build a business. And so this is that business. So this, along with Matt, who's the owner here, Matt and Jenny Smith, they teamed up. They started over there at Snooze Mattress and Snap Fitness, and now they're coming over and they're trying to do this viral type of marketing. So we have the backing of Grant Cardone and his like 10X team. Wow. It's interesting because we went down there to Miami last week, actually. We went and saw their awesome studio and just like they're crazy. They're like $1 billion company. There's 150 employees in their building. And so we like have their backing, and Grant's like a part owner of this place. So there's a lot of momentum with it. It's
awesome.
Growing out of crazy. So a funny story for me is I was kind of searching for a job during COVID. And I got a call from Mia, who works here, and she was like, "Hey, we need someone to do cold calling for Wake Up Pueblo." And I was like, I don't really like, I don't know if it's a perfect fit. And I said no. Yeah. And then like 2 weeks later, I see in the newspaper that it was Grant Cardone. And I was like, what am I doing? I blew it. Yeah. But then they found a spot for me here and we figured it out. But it's just awesome. I was like, it's a lot of momentum. Pueblo has some exciting stuff going on, and this is definitely one of those things, I feel like.
That's exciting to hear. It's a great city. So
yeah, absolutely.
You guys are doing things with it.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for joining with me.
You bet.
Oh, yeah. I had a great time talking to you, Chris.
Yeah, you too.
So you got a lot of cool stuff going on. Let's do one last plug. Okay. How do they contact you? Where do they go to check out Chris Meeks and all of the many things you do? Yeah,
so, my phone number is 719-210-4997. You can throw me a text. You can email me at chris@hopehomesco.com. Homes is plural. Mm-hmm. Or you can go to my website, which has nothing on it. But
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's on its way.
But I'll try to put my number on there today, and so baby steps. But that's hopehomesco.com.
Okay, good deal. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you next time here on Wake Up Podcasts.